What's going on, budget team? Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings. This series, of course, will go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United. And we have a little talk about it. And oh my lord, it has been a long time since we've done one of these bad boys. And in fact, it is the first South Stand signings of the new season. We still got a month of the transfer window to go, and boy, there is so much mouth-watering action for us to be digging our teeth into. And of course, Leeds United news, the season is starting within 2 days, and I think there is a hell of a lot for us to catch up on, because even hearing those words earlier leave my mouth, it just feels right. And it has been far too long since we have graced each other's presence, sat down and had a little conversation about all things Leeds United. I'm not talking football, I'm not talking fighting, I'm not talking any other sport on the planet. I'm just talking Leeds United, the bread and butter, where it all begins and where it all ends. The thing that will either make your week, make your day, make your year, or completely ruin it and send you into a spiral. I know it's been a long time since we've had a little chat like this, and I do apologise for that, but I had things that I had to sort out and figure out within my own personal life. I hope you can understand it. But now everything is on the right track, and we're here ready to rumble, staying locked in for the season ahead. Don't worry, we ain't gone nowhere. Alright, even if Leeds are in the Championship, we're going to be covering this Championship title charge all the way from the start to the very end. And it is going to end at the end of the season with all of us sat here back in Millennium Square, this time with a whole trophy title parade, no COVID going on. And we're going to be there ready to celebrate with the boys. Alright? Make sure you're ready for that big promotion party coming in 9 months. But alas, we have to take it all the way back to the start here. We are facing Cardiff on the weekend, and there is some big breaking news surrounding that. Most importantly, that we're not going to have a damn striker. Okay, let's just catch up on this a little bit. As we saw over these past months or so, every single big name that Leeds had on the books, pretty much, barring Tyler Adams, barring Jack Harrison, who probably still wants to leave, has pissed off. They have. They've left us. They've left us high, and they've left us dry. And we could all see it was going to happen. There was a lot of people that were acting like they're there for the long haul, but the second the money comes in, the second there's a bit of tumultuation, the second Leeds are in dire straits, we're going to lose them. And this is why I said last season when we were in the Premier League and when we were hanging on by the skin of our teeth, I said, look, if we go down, we're losing all these guys. There's no way we keep any of them. And we've seen it. Rodrigo leaving has been a huge blow for us. And I'm not trying to single or dig him out, because, you know what, fair enough, I don't blame the guy. He's a Champions League quality footballer. He was playing for a relegation side in Leeds. We got relegated. He's never going to play in the Championship. This is Rodrigo Moreno. The guy has gone from banging in goals against Chelsea in the Champions League. He's not going to go from that to playing the Championship within 3 to 4 years. It's just never going to happen. And the problem we have with him going is we don't have a striker now. Everyone thought we were going to be able to hang our hat on Patrick Bamford in the Championship. Well, he's out injured now. Joseph, everyone thought he could be someone who could potentially fire in the Championship. He's out injured now. And finally, the £35 million man, Georginio Rutter, who had looked actually pretty impressive in pre-season, if I do say so myself, is what? Now injured. So he's going to be out for the Cardiff game as well. And it's actually quite scary when you look at Georginio Rutter, because not only is he out for the Cardiff game, bloody hell, you know, a bit of ring rust going on over here, but he might be out for the rest of the season as well. If we just have a little look at this story over here, it does not make for nice viewing at all. Apparently, according to the German newspaper, reported on the 4th of August, it does look like he could be heading back over to Hoffenheim. Now, apparently, they are reporting that it is going to be a loan deal potentially, because Rutter is unfortunately very unhappy at Ellen Road. Now, Georginio Rutter being unhappy at Ellen Road is not something new for us. You know, it's something that we've seen for a very, very long time. We've seen that Georginio Rutter hadn't exactly been adapting to life in England. I don't know if it was the weather up in Yorkshire. I don't know if it was the fact he wasn't getting a lot of game time in the Premier League. I don't know what exactly the circumstances were, but we've known for a long time that he wasn't so happy. It did look like since going into pre-season, you know, seeing him smiling, he looked a little bit more bubbly. He was being destined to get a lot more game time because obviously it's the Championship, so he's going to have a lot more options, especially with Rodrigo going. And it seemed like things were starting to go on the up and up a bit. So me reading this news today, and when I saw some stories circulating about it the other day and last night, it's something that, you know, it just comes out of nowhere for me. It does, because I was actually hanging my hat on him as the main guy to really give us a good season this year. I thought he was going to be probably our focal point going forward in terms of someone that's going to get us goals, in terms of someone that's going to drag us out of this. I had predicted him to get probably 20-25 goals this season. I thought he was going to be very impressive for us. So him leaving and reportedly on another loan could be hugely detrimental to our season. It really could be detrimental. And if he is going out on loan, that is going to make another one of our players, which is probably still going to be on the books. He's gone out on loan. We're not going to make any money for. By the time he comes back, it's another year off their contract. We're going to make even less in the long run. Terrible, terrible business decision. If you ask me, either you tell them if you want him, you're going to have to fork up 25-30 million like we paid for him, or you're just going to have to wait and he's going to have to stay at Ellen Road. Another loan option for me is a criminal. In fact, it would be sacrilegious to do something like that, especially to a man we spent £30 million for, has barely kicked a ball for Leeds United. You know, let's call a spade a spade. He's barely kicked a ball for us. He's 21 years of age. We have him for 5 more years. The ball is in our court. We can't be folding and doing some stupidness like this. It is just not something that I will see as a fathomable thing for Leeds United to do. Now, speaking of Leeds United squad issues and potential team issues that we've had in terms of players being out on injury and players going, finally Leeds look like we're going to dip back into the transfer market. We've only made 2 signings so far, obviously being Ethan Ampadu and Carl Darlow. And Ethan Ampadu, woo! Does he look like a player? But we'll get into that in a little bit later. Carl Darlow, not so much. But Leeds are apparently trying to dip back into the transfer market to get the Coventry City star Hamer finally done. This story has been following us around like a dirty pile of shit filled with fleas, or rather like a pack of fleas attached to a dirty shit. You know what I mean. But it's been following us around, that's for sure. And it's another one of those stories that just doesn't seem to be going away. Obviously, when we were first linked with him, we still had the whole ownership debacle flying around with Radrizzani and the 49ers. Were they going to buy us? Were they not going to buy us? We didn't know what was going to happen. So we couldn't actually make any signings during that time. Now that we have got the 49ers done, signed, sealed, and delivered, finally we can start to make some serious progression in the transfer market. And I think Gus Hamer will be a fantastic move to do that. But in terms of this, it doesn't seem like there is too much groundbreaking information or groundbreaking changes, but it does look like there is some moves coming through here. And obviously with Hamer entering the final year of his contract, it does seem like he is going to be making a move this summer. I don't see Coventry deciding to hold on to him and gambling that he will extend at the end of the year based on promotion for them. But I digress, and we will have to move on. Speaking of Illan Meslier, by the way, it has come out that Daniel Farke has basically claimed that he is going to be our number 1 goalkeeper for the season. Obviously, with Carl Darlow coming in, as I aforementioned, people weren't sure who was going to be our number 1, but it does look like it is going to be that man, Illan Meslier. Boys. Cardiff City. Now, Cardiff City, that does kind of wrap up most of the news. what are your thoughts for the game on the weekend? Obviously, that big injury blow for us is, it's something that's really kind of dampened my spirits for the opener. If I'm honest with you, it really has dampened my spirits. I was looking at this a little bit more optimistically, but without us having a recognised striker aside from Joe Gelhardt that's not injured, how are we going to get the goals? Where are the goals going to come from? I'm not 100% sold on that fact. However, I do think an impressive start is really imperative for Leeds. I think we need to win this. If you look at the last couple of seasons we had where we got promoted, we started off the season with an impressive victory in both of those championship campaigns. The first one, no one expected us to beat Stoke. Everyone thought they were going to wipe the floor with us. First season under Bielsa, we absolutely creamed them 3-1. Second season, I believe it was the Bristol City game where Pablo Hernandez got a couple of goals and we won 3-1. I believe that was the first game we had in the second championship campaign under Bielsa where we did actually get promoted. So a win is imperative for me. Cardiff, we saw what we did to them last year. Yes, our squad is slightly altered, but is it altered enough to the point where we can't dispatch of them? No, I don't think so. We've still managed to retain a few high-quality players. As things stand, we still do have Somerville and Nonto on the books. As things stand, we haven't lost them. So, as long as we can retain them, as long as we can retain some of the quality, as long as we can get Joe Gelhardt in the fold to start, causing some action, as long as we can get Cody Drama onto the pitch, what a massive, massive, massive pull that has been for Leeds to manage to keep Cody Drama. He was phenomenal at Luton when he went down for them there last year. I don't know why we ever got rid of him in the first place. I was saying that for time, but the fact that we might be able to keep hold of him, huge for Leeds. Huge that we could keep Cody Drama. And I do feel like Daniel Farke is starting to build something. There's been murmurings of his training sessions being mirrored to Bielsa's in a way, and certain things like that. So we can only see how that really reflects into a season or a league campaign. Pre-season never really tells you anything. I mean, I remember even under Bielsa, we had some shockers in pre-season. I recall us even losing or drawing to Guiseley, I think, and that was the first campaign when we went and battered Stoke. So pre-season for me doesn't really mean anything. It never really has. It's just a way of getting fitness and getting those kind of things sorted. Once the league campaign starts, that is when I'll judge these people. So hopefully Leeds are able to start off with a bang against Cardiff. But I want to know what you guys have to think. What do you guys think about this whole debacle? What do you guys think about these injuries? What do you guys think about Leeds not making enough signings? Let me know, please. And do you think we're going to be able to keep hold of some of these players? Do you think we're going to be able to keep hold of Georginio Rutter? Or do you think he's gone? Do you think we're going to be able to keep hold of Jack Harrison? Do you think we're going to be able to keep hold of Wilfred Nonto? Please let me know what you guys think. It's been too long since I've heard your guys' opinions on these things. I'm just circulating my own thoughts and feelings around in my own head, bubbling it around. I need to hear what you guys, or the lifeblood of the club, are thinking. Please let me know down in the comment section down below, and let me know what your thoughts and feelings are for Cardiff. We will be coming out with the big match preview tomorrow, so we're going to be back in the fold. But for now, guys, it has been your boy JT. Thank you guys so much for watching. And au revoir, my brothers and sisters.